Greetings, Earthlings! My name is Zero Jake and welcome back to Space Engineers Hardcore. It turns out that we didn't have any nickel, so I decided to go to an asteroid, which would be somewhere over here. This nice asteroid about 8 kilometers away, and got some nickel for us. Why do we need nickel, you ask? Well, we need nickel to create metal plates, and metal plates to create gyroscopes. We are going to make this ship move once again, in kind of a ragtag fashion, but move nonetheless. In order to do so, we need several components, which I have created beforehand, and we're also going to need a control station, which we're going to use the flight seat variant because it's cheaper and doesn't actually decrease the functionality in any way whatsoever, which is very good. So we just need to find a place to place down these gyroscopes. I don't have anything in my inventory that's of use, so I'm going to pick that up. All the steel plate in the universe is going to be needed, and we're basically going to have 3 gyroscopes, one here, and one here. For the time being, we'll add more if we will add more later, because we are obviously going to need more for a ship of this size. Let me just place down the other 2, and then we'll be back in a second there. I'll be back in a second once I've welded these all together. Right, now that those gyroscopes are completed, we can place down our command station, which I'm torn between. That's just a mining carriage, by the way. I'm torn between having it on the roof, so more visibility, or having it inside, so it doesn't get shot at. I'm possibly going to place it here. We'll move the medical station when I can dare to do so to a different location where it can be hooked up to the conveyor system for easier use. So I just need to bring all the computers and some motors. That's it. Yeah, computers, motors, bish bash bosh. And we have our flight seat, which means that we can now pilot this vessel out of its crater, which is pretty useful. Throw everything in the bin, or like the cargo area. So this should be facing the correct way in order to start us moving. Now, we've only got one thruster facing forward, and that's that large thruster to the right here, closest to us. We don't have many thrusters for lateral, for horizontal movement. Vertical movement, we've got a sufficient amount pushing us down, and a sufficient amount pulling us up, so that's good. So we're just going to break away a bit. Now, the stupid thing I've done is I've forgotten to get rid of the, power down the mining ship, but if I do that, then I power down everything. Possibly a better idea would be just simply turning off inertial dampeners. Yes, that would be a good idea. Inertial dampeners off. There. Shouldn't bother us anymore. So, now that we're able to move this, our base around, it's a temporary base at the moment. No, don't go forward, you fool. Now that we can move this around, we're kind of a bit safer. It means that if an enemy starts approaching, then we can attempt to run away. That's some steel tube out there that I dropped for some reason. Let's just pick that up. Need to throw that back in the inventory before it goes missing. Cargo. Just get the rest of this. Good. Right. Now that we've got a mobile base, a mobile wreck more like, the next thing that I want to do is get some point defenses. So guns that will make sure that if an enemy comes along, which they will shoot it down quickish and reliably whilst we're attempting to flee. Oh, you're damaged. What would happen if we repaired you? Would that give us access to another reactor? I'm guessing you, Mr. Nuclear Reactor, are not connected to the network. No. Okay. That's interesting. So this reactor we can salvage if we want to. We've got solar panels to deal with some of our power for now. The reactor in here is working, thankfully. It's connected up, as you can see, which is, I think, the only reactor powering this thing. Let's check. No, we've got another large reactor which is going to be in the center. So we can get rid of the two areas on the side in order to make way for one on the center, if we want to. That might actually not be a bad idea, because we could use those resources to build a new ship. A ship that is not a flying wreck, but one that will take ages to build because I don't have a welder ship yet. Okay. Right. Ooh, another thing that I want. Do we have an ore detector on this thing? Always check first. Okay. No. Right. So, first order of business is to have an ore detector on this. Reason being, I want an ore detector. So that, well, an ore detector is on a large ship has a larger range than a one on a small ship. So we're going to need around 25 detector components. Let's check that. No, we have 2. Right, so we're going to need some detectors, which requires nickel. We have that. That's fine. Right, so that's all of that. And then we need some steel, which I'll put on as well. We've got computers. No, we don't have enough computers. Let's get some more of that. Production, a handful of computers, construction components. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way because so that I have a surplus later on. We have motors. Right, so I just need to pick up some steel plate. Throw everything from the assembler in there. Right. Yeah, that should be enough. So I just need to pull in some steel. Plonk this down here. This is where it's going to be. Weld it up a bit. Throw that back. Get some other things. Motors, computers. And then the detectors. Right, there we go. We have an ore detector for the Dark God. No, not for the Dark God, for something else. So now we should be able to scan for ores at a further distance, he says. Let's check. Ore detector. You're on. Range is 150 meters. That's kind of rubbish, just saying. So this ore detector kind of works. You can see that we're in close proximity and we can see some silver, ice, uranium. We'll actually add that to the thing because we're going to be moving around. Ast. So it's ice. No, it's not ice. Iron. Uranium. Or uran. Because we can. Silver. What was the other one? Ice. Oh, we do have ice here. Okay. Shows what I know. I thought there wasn't ice. So, that's bad. Oh no, it was platinum that we didn't have. Maybe. Ice. Right. Capital letters, you fool. Okay, right, now, we should be able to move around this, the area without losing bearings, which is pretty good. So, yes. Right. Basically, what's going to happen now is I need to get a ton of resources. These resources will allow me to build some new stuff. First order of business will be a welding ship, which we will work on now. I'm just getting ourselves away from the asteroid a bit so I have some room to work with, and I'll also flip us around. You see how slowly we're rotating? This is because we don't have enough gyros. We have 3 gyros to turn 1.5 kilotons worth of stuff. I am right in saying that. Well, I'm going to rephrase 1.5 million kilograms. which is 1.5 thousand megagrams or 1.5 teragrams, because that's how the scale works. Slow down first. That would be a very good idea. We've only got one thruster. Slowing down is going to be a difficult part of life, which is why I want my own ship that I've designed myself. Okay. Turn on inertia dampeners. So the plan that we're going to use for the welder is basically we're building something in similar shape to the miner, except not with those large engines on the back. The large engines are supposed to be there to travel to distant areas, but they are not useful when it comes to delicate work. So we're going to need to do something else about that. So we need cockpits. We've got blocks like that. Change to small blocks because that will be better. We need thrusters. We need welders. We need gyros. We need power, which we will use the small reactor, because that's an easier way of doing it. Don't need the hand drill. Good. That should be all, right? And then we've got a small set of stuff on the other end. Okay. So we're going to need to design this. We're going to need to start with a landing gear, because that is the best way to start a ship, with a landing gear. Yes. Yeah, I would love it if you didn't do that kind of thing, and instead you just went on there to begin with. Right, we need construction component, large steel tube. In fact, we'll just use a cockpit, so we need some interior plate. Let's say 50, and then the rest of it will be steel. Right, so this is going to be a welder ship, which is going to be a godsend when we're finished with it. We just don't want to move, and we don't want to hit it. Essentially, that's what we want to do. We're going to copy the front design, depending on the design of these. I don't know how to get the model closer. It's kind of annoying. But yeah. So we've only got back slots, which is going to be annoying. Yeah, very annoying, actually. That's going to be stupidly annoying. So what we can do is we can have a cargo container at the back, or like a conveyor here. And then we have a tube, if I can scroll through it. No, I need tube. Right, conveyor. What do we want? Is it curved conveyor tube? One to here. One to here. Okay, and then on these we will have the welders. And then on the bottom we will have a connector. So that's number 3. We'll have a connector on the back here instead. Connector there. That's good. And then back off this way, since it's a large connector. Oh, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant piece of design there. This conveyor doesn't have large on all 6 sides. Well done. Well done. My God, what is wrong with you? So that's going to be troubling since we can't have the connector there, so we're going to have to move the connector forward. Connector, go here. Yes, because that's definitely the center of mass. Definitely. You're 100% correct on that estimate. So, on the bottom here we can have our reactors. Yeah. I actually just need to see what this will look like once it's finished. So, construction component, small steel tube, and motors. So, construction component, throw this away, small steel tube, and motor. Need more construction component, do I? Okay, fine, we can do that. Construction. We already have it. Right. Right, let's see what the finished picture looks like. Aligned that way. Okay. Right, so if we add small reactors this way, in fact that wouldn't make sense. That would not make sense whatsoever. Can't you just be a six-sided conveyor? Much easier. Right, so on the top what we can do is we can have our reactors here. So that's 3. Each reactor has 2 points, doesn't it? 2 connection points. Ah, I thought I had 2 connection points on which we could connect to, but no, it's not. That's brilliant. That's brilliant, that is. Come on, there. This is very annoying to work with, by the way, just saying. Because I need a way to get power into the ship without having power there. And then I need a way to get power... I need the power to be... Never mind. I'm not liking this design. It looks stupid. So instead we're getting rid of this. Getting rid of these temporarily. And we'll start again on a new ship. Right. New one. New design, new day, everything's cool. So we want a conveyor. We don't want a conveyor on the back. What we want is, we want the welders on the sides, kind of here, and here. No, not there. Behave yourself. Here. Thank you. As a result, we need conveyor blocks going this way, which will go into this conveyor. What we can do is we can split this around like this, then have a connector here. Okay, now that's good, except I'm going to move this to here. Or in fact we are going to move it again. We're going to put some gyros in the middle down here. Yeah, gyros here. And then we're going to have... I need more steel. Obviously more steel is required. Right, so we have the cockpit here. So it's a bit further forward, but we have gyros in the middle. Or in fact thrusters. Thrusters would be a better idea. So if I weld these 3 blocks here, I can get rid of the 3 that's underneath and we can replace those with thrusters later. Okay. So the next thing that we need is power. This is a regular kind of thing. So if we go out like this, in fact... we could add a cargo container here. Yeah, cargo container. So cargo, we'll use a medium one because that's a 3x3, and then we can place it on like this. It will match up, which is good. And then next bit, we can have reactors. Here and here and here and here. So with 4 small reactors, we don't have to power all of them at the same time. I was thinking for a second that this ship was moving, but no, it's the sun. What's this one? Business shipment. Okay. Last thing that we need is we just need thrusters everywhere, which I need large steel tubes. Excellent, large steel tubes to take up everything. First, actually, I've got something else I need to do, which is grind down this and replace it. Put it onto this one. Okay. Next thing I want to do is get the cockpit running so that we can control it. So it's going to require interior plate, bulletproof glass, well no, interior plate, construction component, motor display, computer. So we need some steel plate, which I'm going to get 20 of. We need some interior plate, need some computers, need some motors, need some construction components. We also need displays and bulletproof glass. Uh, 30 bulletproof, no, not that. Don't need bullets, I need bulletproof glass. 30 bulletproof glass, and then displays, which we don't have, which we will have in about 10 seconds when I can actually find the thing. Okay, right. I'm actually going to sort out all the things that are currently in the assemblers because it's bothering me. Displays. And we have the cockpit done. Next thing we need is steel tube. Can I access you? No, you're a conveyor. Okay, I can't access conveyors. I have to access you. We need large steel tubes, which we don't need that many of. Let's say 10. 10 large steel tube. Then we need 10 thruster components. And then we need 10 construction components. And then we need 10 steel plate. Right. And now we just need to find places to put all the thrusters that we need. So, we're going to have thrusters here and here. So that's 2. And that's another 2. We then need retro thrusters, which are heading this way. We'll have about 3. No, no, no. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. You're not needed. Put you here. So it's about 9 thrusters I've placed. So let's weld those up. Of course, you stole some of my stuff, so let's get rid of you. Place you back again. Weld this last one. Okay. Place another thruster here. Right. So that's up, down and backwards done. That's 3 of the directions that we need. We just need 10 more of each component. Or 9 more in fact. Still a business shipment? Yes, okay. The next thing that we need is left and right, which we can do in this kind of fashion. Okay, and then we just need the ones that are going to push us. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4. I just started welding the connector, obviously, because the connector is always in the way. Right, let's get some more steel plate and construction component, and then we need some reactor component as well to build the reactor. So steel plate construction. Right. So these reactors are going to require metal grid, large steel tube, a tiny amount of reactor components, some motors, some computers. Right, so let's get some metal grid. Metal grid, large steel tube, which we don't need that many of. We can have 8, I believe, is the amount that we need. We need motors and computers. We don't need that many motors. We can get rid of 30. Add more computers. And then we need about, let's say 30 reactor component. We can use the rest for more reactors later down the line. Okay, right, we're just waiting on the reactor components, and then we just need some uranium. Reactor component 1, reactor component what are we missing? Gravel. Fine then, I'll give you gravel. There. Happy now? Okay, good. Right, so we need reactor components. Reactor components. Thank you. And we finally have our reactor ready. So, I thought I picked up more. I thought I picked up all of it. Or is it because, you know, my inventory's full? Reactor components. Oh no, it's because I threw it into the inventory instead. Never mind. Right, so we've got reactor 1, reactor 2, reactor 3, reactor 4. Not in that order, but you get the point. And then finally we just need some uranium. And then we can get this thing moving. Now, the only problem is it won't actually... let's just get 4 and throw 1 into each. Last thing we need actually is gyroscopes. So gyros can go on the bottom. So we need steel plate. Oh my god. I've forgotten how much of a chore building things was without a quicker method of doing things. 3 gyroscopes should be enough. Correct me if I'm wrong. Probably you'll have to. Don't build the connector, it's a waste of time. Motors, computers, construction component, and large steel tube. Computers, motors, do not need that many. And what was the other thing? Construction component. There we go. And this should mean that we should be able to run. Right, testing. We just need to put uranium in here. Right. So here we go. We've got this thing active. The top bit is a bit iffy. I'll sort that out later in design. So we should be able to move this. Currently the reactor, the singular reactor, is overloading, so let's get rid of these. Okay, and then have one here. One here, and one here. Okay, right, so that should be good. 30%, 40%, 90%. Okay. So we get a tiny bit of overload, but other than that, this is good. It's a good amount of gyros, good amount of acceleration. This will serve our purposes. Okay, so the only things I need to do is weld up the cargo container, the conveyor tubes, and the welder, and the connector, obviously. And then we'll be back in the next episode when we will be working on... actually, what we could do is we could retrofit the ship when we need to salvage things. So, for example, if I want to get rid of this entire nacelle, I can use the welder, turn it into a grinder, grind this down, then turn it back into a welder. That's a good idea, because then it saves me building another ship which I don't need. Evidence being my regular survival series, I'd never use my grinder ship because grinding things down is quicker, except when it comes to hauling things around, which is why I use the welding ship. Until then, my name has been Zero Jake. End transmission.